This video is going to be on erythroid hypoplasia, and I'm using the term hypoplasia in this video to mean that red cells are not being released from the bone marrow to the degree that they should be. So in this video, it doesn't necessarily imply that there's an underlying hypoplastic process. The three general causes of erythroid hypoplasia are a deficiency of nutrients and hormones, myelosuppression, and myelophthisis. So first, starting with a deficiency of nutrients and hormones, there's lots of different substances in the body that contribute to baseline red cell production. And without those basic substances, then red cell production is depressed. Erythropoietin is a protein produced by the kidney, which then stimulates red cell production. Iron is a molecule that's essential to hemoglobin synthesis, and iron is acquired by the diet, and it makes its way to the bone marrow by a variety of iron transport proteins. Most of these iron transport proteins are produced by the liver. Thyroid hormone is a hormone produced by the thyroid gland, and it also contributes to baseline erythropoiesis. Iron deficiency is a total body depletion of iron, and this most commonly occurs in our domestic species due to chronic external blood loss. In young animals, we see this most commonly with GI parasites, and in middle-aged to older animals, we see this most commonly with bleeding GI neoplasms, so intestinal lymphomas, intestinal carcinomas. Now, iron is also transported to the bone marrow by various iron transport proteins. And this transport is inhibited by something that we call anemia of chronic disease. So any disease, either inflammatory or non-inflammatory or metabolic or degenerative, any disease can cause this anemia, and it's actually the most common anemia that we see in our veterinary species. This is due to iron being sequestered within macrophages. So the body has enough iron, it's just not being used for erythropoiesis. It's being sequestered or stored within macrophages. This type of anemia tends to be mild to moderate, and it also tends to be normocytic, normochromic. So you don't see a change in the MCV or the MCHC. A deficiency of iron transport to the bone marrow can also occur with liver disease like liver failure or portosystemic shunts. In either case, the liver isn't producing the iron transport proteins that are needed to get iron to the bone marrow. This type of anemia also tends to be mild to moderate and normocytic and normochromic. Deficiency of erythropoietin occurs with chronic kidney disease, which you may also know as chronic renal failure. And a deficiency of thyroid hormone occurs with something we call hypothyroidism. This is a disease of dogs, which is due to an immune-mediated destruction of the thyroid gland. Okay, so a deficiency of iron transport and hypothyroidism both tend to be a mild to moderate anemia. Usually these anemias don't get to be marked or severe. Also, all of these anemias tend to be normocytic, normochromic. Rarely, anemia of chronic disease or anemia of liver disease can be microcytic, but in most cases, it's normocytic, normochromic. The other two causes of anemia, iron deficiency and a lack of erythropoietin, those can be variable in severity. It can be mild to severe, and the iron deficiency anemia, you may also see a microcytic hypochromic anemia. Anemia of chronic kidney disease or chronic renal failure, that tends to be normocytic, normochromic. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm going to pick up with erythroid hypoplasia in the next video.